TUGS, Nothing to Declare, written by Fiona Hardwick and based on the television series created by David Mitton and Robert D. Cardona, read by Ellis Pagan and Chris Dale. The tugboat, for its size, is the most powerful craft afloat. And the Star Tugs are the power behind the docks and waterways that make up the Bigg City Port. This is TUGS. It was a fine autumn. The sun was warm, the air was dry, and the leaves were just beginning to fall off the trees. But all of this never deterred the tugs of Bigg City Port, which was bustling as usual. Warrior was busy with Lord Stinker, the garbage barge. They were cleaning up the rubbish strewn around the harbour from that year's 4th of July regatta. Big Mac, on the other hand, was unloading a cargo freighter. I was busy giving the others orders and keeping an eye on them.
Keep to it, Star Tugs. Blue Nose, the naval tug, is coming at midday to check we're all present and correct.
Oh no, not that pompous twit Blue Nose, complained Top Hat. Why is he coming? I can't stand that tug.
It's a security check, Top Hat,
said OJ.
2 new top-secret Navy vessels are being docked here for a couple of days, so he's doing an inspection before they arrive.
I knew I could count on old OJ. He always knew what was going on. Out in the estuary, the customs launch saw a scruffy freighter that he immediately recognized. It was an old enemy, Johnny Cuba.
Ahoy there, Johnny Cuba,
said the launch sternly.
I'm coming alongside. Just a routine search.
Johnny Cuba was notorious in the port for his smuggling, and customs always kept a close watch on him, particularly after what had happened last year with him and one of the Z-Stacks.
Go ahead. I've got nothing to declare. You always say that,
muttered the customs launch as he came alongside, but the launch could find nothing wrong.
So, tell your friends I can get a tow, right?
Sneered Johnny.
And make it snappy. I get fed up stuck here for hours.
The launch had noticed Sunshine nearby.
Ahoy! Can you give Johnny a tow, Sunshine? Ooh, that's tricky. We're all busy preparing for Blue Nose's inspection before those new ships arrive. Yes,
interrupted the launch crossly. The whole operation was supposed to be top secret, and now Sunshine had given it away. Johnny grinned slyly at this news.
I suppose you thought you'd find spies on board when you searched me,
he said, sniggering. The launch glared at Sunshine and turned sharply back towards the harbour. In turn, Johnny turned to face Sunshine.
Now, if you want to keep your little stack intact, don't forget to tell the other star stinkers about my tow.
But Sunshine was a switcher who was not going to be bullied that easily.
You'll get a tow when one of us is free. Not before, not after,
he said defiantly, and set off for the Star Dock. Soon, Johnny saw Big Mac coming towards him.
You took your time,
said Johnny rudely.
Get me towed in right now. I'm on another job,
grunted Big Mac.
One of the others will be here soon.
Johnny scowled. Later, OJ came puffing and wheezing up the estuary. With all the extra work, he was tired and hot, and the autumn heat didn't help.
Come on, old-timer,
called Johnny.
Or would you like me to give you a tow? I haven't got time for your stupid jokes,
snapped OJ. Then 10 cents came by.
Sunshine told me you needed a tow,
he called.
I'll be back in a few minutes when I finish this delivery. Oh, don't worry about me, Star,
said Johnny.
I'm just watching myself go rusty. Bunch of goody-goody two-screws.
He muttered to himself.
Maybe one of those Z-stacks will be more useful.
So, when Zip appeared, Johnny yelled,
Oi! Give me a tow! I'm too busy, Johnny. Ask Soren.
said Zip in a frightened voice. Johnny watched Zip move out of sight.
I give up.
He said,
I could be here all day. I might as well get some sleep. It was a long time getting here anyways.
He dozed off. As he slept, a long grey craft appeared on the horizon, heading towards Bigg City Port. Then, a sudden noise made Johnny wake up.
I suppose that's Blue Nose sticking his nose in. Hey, what's that?
He said, catching sight of the strange shape approaching. As he watched, it disappeared, leaving only bubbles on the surface of the water. It was a submarine, but what was it doing on its way to the harbour? Johnny frowned. Blue Nose's inspection was in preparation for top-secret Navy vessels. Perhaps the sub was from the Navy to let everybody know the ships were on their way, but it couldn't have been Grampus because I had bought him from the Navy last year, and Johnny couldn't understand why it had suddenly disappeared. He stared at where the sub had been. You would never have guessed that there was anything there at all. Then Johnny realised.
It's a spy. Someone wants to know what these new ships are like, so they've sent in a spy. And with the customs launch and Blue Nose at the inspection, there's no one around here to stop it. Except me.
In those days, only the large ocean liners like the Duchess, the Princess Alice, or the SS Vienna had radios, so Johnny couldn't tell everybody else what was going on. So, very patiently, he waited for the sub to resurface. Meanwhile, in Bigg City Port, Blue Nose was about to begin his inspection.
The new ships are most important. Top security is vital. Absolutely tip-top. Discipline. That is what the Navy is used to, and that is what we expect.
Of course, Blue Nose.
I sighed. Blue Nose made a thorough inspection. He looked inside every warehouse, checked all the barges, and even wanted to have Warrior searched. Blinking cheek, said Warrior. Eventually, Blue Nose was satisfied. The customs launch got away as fast as he could. Back in the estuary, the sub had reappeared, and Johnny saw his chance. When he thought no one was looking, he revved up his engines and rammed the sub as hard as he could, driving it onto some sandbanks. But someone was looking. It was the customs launch, and as he came past, he saw everything.
Ahoy there, mate.
Called Johnny.
Come and take a look here. This sub's a long way from home, and very interesting in Blue Nose's ships, I reckon.
A little later, Blue Nose himself steamed by.
Oh, that's right, laddie,
he said when he saw the launch talking to Johnny Cuba.
Keep those ne'er-do-wells under control. Bit of discipline, that is what they need. Bit of discipline. Make them toe the line.
Blue Nose laughed loudly at his own joke. Johnny and the customs launch grinned.
Well, I never thought I'd say this, but thanks, Johnny,
said the launch.
Blue Nose would never have believed it, even if I had told him. Oh, no problem, mate,
said Johnny.
Besides, there's only room for one scoundrel around these parts. Me. Now, how about that toe?
And looking back, even I found it hard to believe, but Johnny Cuba proved on that day that everyone has a good side to them. Even gangsters.